Welcome to the Cardinal Clash Sports Report. I'm Parker Gabriel. We're here at the Kohl Center at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Let's talk some sports. I'm here with Nico Savage, Sydney Chapman, Kyle Sparks, and Ryan Evans. We're going to go through a few UW-related sports topics today. I think we're going to start with the BCS. Right now we've got Wisconsin in the top 10 right now. They're number 7. One of its top storylines is 1, whether or not Wisconsin can be caught by Ohio State and overtaken, and 2, the 2 non-automatic qualifiers in Boise State and TCU that are still in the top 5 at the moment. So Nico, I'm going to start with you. What's your impressions of where the BCS stands right now?
Well, I think we're going to be headed towards another one of those years where we have to, reevaluate the BCS and where it stands. And we've had quite a lot of those in the past decade or so. So I don't think it's going to lead to any kind of change. I think there's going to be a lot of these debates. There's going to be a lot of discussion with teams like TCU and teams like Boise. But in the end, I think it's always going to stay the same, because unless there's, a real push behind, changing the BCS, and that's got to come, I think, from the athletic department programs, from some of the biggest programs and the biggest conferences. Until we see that, I don't think we're going to see any change.
Sydney, with 2 non-automatic qualifying schools, Boise State and TCU, there's a lot of talk out there about whether or not those teams deserve a shot at a national title. What do you think?
I think they deserve a shot because no one gives the Big Ten any credit at all either. So where would we be in the same spot? And I think BCS just needs to reevaluate also. I think it's hard, and I don't think that it's going to come down to BCS standings this year. I think it's going to come down to other factors and other people voting.
Kyle, for a long time you've been saying that Boise deserves a shot at a national championship. At this point, they're on the outside looking in, it seems, as long as Auburn and Oregon continue to win. They're the top 2 teams. What does Boise have to do to get over the hump and earn a shot?
They can't do anything. They've done everything they've asked. Over the last 5 years, they've never lost more than 1 game. They've scheduled tough opponents, as many tough opponents as will play them. They've won every game. They've won every game convincingly. They're in the top 5 now. There's not really much else you can do. But the problem with the BCS, if you're going to go for any sort of reconstructive change, is that the top 5 teams are always going to be deserving of a shot at the national title. It's not just the mid-majors. And so this kind of change doesn't really concern these non-AQ teams because, we've got four undefeated teams now. We may have fewer, but the bottom line is there's going to be at least 8 teams that could all beat up on each other, and we'll never know what happens unless we make a change.
Ryan, one of the complaining points, I think, from a lot of people that have problems with the BCS is preseason rankings. Now, it seems that if you're not near the top at the beginning of the year when those preseason rankings come out, you have a lot of spots to jump, even if you put together a campaign worthy of a BCS berth. If you start outside the top 25, it makes it difficult to jump over that many teams. Do you think there's need for change in the way teams are ranked preseason?
I definitely believe that we need to get rid of preseason rankings, because I think we found out over the past few years that they're really useless. When the number 4 team in the country loses in week 2, everyone calls it a huge upset, but did we ever really know that team was worthy of being number 4 in the country? So I think that really preseason rankings we need to do away with them. Just start the rankings at like weeks 4, 5, 6, when we know a little bit more about the teams that we're ranking.
Nico, this year, Brett Bielema, head coach of the football team here, has taken some heat. It started with Austin Peay. They won 70-3. Said they threw the ball in the 4th quarter, didn't need to run up the score. Then he went for 2 and explained it. Went for 2 when he was up 25 against Minnesota. Explained it saying that's what the card said, 2-point conversion chart. Now they hang 83 points on Indiana, 74-yard touchdown in the 4th quarter. A lot of people out there accusing him of running up the score. What's your take?
It's tough to say whether or not he was running up the score, trying to embarrass these opponents. I think he's, maybe looking for what's best for his program, and maybe for what Wisconsin needs to do is outscore teams by 60, 70 points to start getting some national prominence. I saw something interesting a couple days ago online. It was, if a Pac-10 school puts up 70 points, that's just them playing good football. If a Big Ten school does it well, it's running up the score, and it's unacceptable. When a very good team plays a very bad team, you should expect a lopsided score. And, I'm not saying he needs to, run a 2-minute drill when they're up 30 in the 4th quarter. But, if this team scores a lot of points, if this offense is playing as well as it can, maybe they do score 80-some points on a team. Maybe they do put up 70 against somebody.